episode 001 of Boot Camp Stories. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. My name's Sean, by the way, Sean Galloway. The whiny dog in the background is Bo, Natty Bo. With me is Dana Galloway, my sister. Couldn't think of a better person to have on the first episode of Boot Camp Stories. And Boot Camp Stories is a show where we basically tell funny stories of what happened to us in boot camp. One of the questions I always get about being in the United States Navy is, what was boot camp like? And I can never really give people the gist of what boot camp was like because it's something you got to kind of have to experience for yourself. But I do have a lot of funny stories that I like to tell people what happened in boot camp. And today I'm going to share one of my stories, and my sister Dana is going to share one of her stories. She was a United States Marine and down in Paris Island, and she's going to share her story after I do mine. And we're just going to have a conversation, like, you know, questions and what were we thinking when things were going on, and we're just going to have fun. And hopefully this leads to a bi-weekly thing, 30-minute show where I have my friends on. Oh, nice, Bo. Just go ahead and scratch right there.
I'm about to put him away.
No, you leave him there. He's giving us some. It's better than children in the background.
True.
He's better than children. But I'm gonna have friends over, and I'm gonna have all my veteran friends tell their stories, and we're just gonna have fun, and we're just gonna do this. All right. So here we go. You ready, Dana?
I'm ready.
You ready, Bo? Alicia, the producer, you ready? She's ready. All right, here we go. So I joined the United States Navy in the year 2000, and I joined in June. It's 2019. That shows my age, I guess. 41 right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, keep it closer.
Okay.
So I joined the Navy in 2000, and I went to Great Lakes, about 45 minutes outside of Chicago, and it was boot camp. You know, I arrived there. I couldn't even tell you why I joined the Navy, honestly. Looking back at it, I don't even know. I was in college playing football one day. Then the next day I was being yelled at by some...
It was the thing to do.
It was the thing to do. Our family has a lot of history tracing back into the military, all the way back to our great-great-great-grand dude, Isaiah. What was his name? Abraham Galloway. I said Isaiah. Abraham Galloway, who was a spy for Lincoln in the Army, and he ended up being one of the first black congressmen in North Carolina. So, you know, without us even realizing it, we have a lot of history in the military, and it's just through the years people have washed in and washed out, you know, for lack of a better term.
Right.
You know, so anyway, going back to 2000, I joined the military, and you know, I ended up in Great Lakes. I was 23 years old, 22, 23. So I was a lot older than the 18-year-olds that were in boot camp at the time. So I already kind of didn't have the patience to deal with people that were younger than me. And I was also able to deal with white men yelling at me all the time because I played college football, and that's all that was coaching football in the late 90s was white men, and they were just yelling at me constantly to run faster.
Why is that so funny to me?
So when I got to boot camp, I was just used to white men, middle-aged white men, just screaming at me all the time. So
Facts.
You know, so there was this one person that I was really cool with, and I figured in boot camp, I'm just going to do whatever they say. I'm going to just go to a place, an astral plane, where I don't feel any pain, where I can do, again, I was just coming from college football, so I knew how to deal with pain, you know. So there was one guy, I decided that me and this guy and this crew of people we had, sailors, were going to take over and making the bathroom look clean. In the military, especially in the Marine Corps and then the Navy, the bathroom is referred to as the head. The head is what it's called. So me and my crew were responsible for keeping the head spotless, and we did so.
No pun intended.
It was spotless. I get what you just did there. I get it. It was spotless. So because we did such a good job, we would get rewarded with what was called a Hollywood shower. Now, normally in the military, especially at boot camp, you get what's called a 2-minute pump and dump. And a pump and dump is basically, you got 2 minutes to get whatever is in your system, whatever's in your guts, out into the toilet wipe, maybe not wipe, and get back into formation.
Dingleberries.
You got to get back into that formation. So every now and then on Sundays, you would get relaxed time where you could write home to your family. You can go to church. You can do whatever you wanted to do. And that morning, you would be able to relax. So because we did such a good job of keeping the bathroom clean, we would be able to get these what was called Hollywood showers. And the Hollywood showers means that we could take as much time as we wanted to get clean. Right. Now, this one guy that I was really cool with in my division, he did something pretty disgusting one day when we were in the shower.
Ew.
Pretty disgusting. So I'm not the only person that has seen this before in the Navy. I think this is like a subdivision of people. Like this is kind of a race of people out there.
I can imagine what happened.
Yeah, like like the troglodytes or whatever. Yeah. Like this is the Morlocks and right. These people exist somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so we were in the shower. And in boot camp, you get pretty comfortable with your body. You get comfortable with other people looking. You're not ashamed of anything. It's boot camp. You've been through worse together. Looking at naked people is not going to hurt you. So me and this guy are washing up one day, and we're talking in the shower, and he starts wiping himself, which is fine.
His butt?
From the butt.
Oh my God! Wait! It's pause.
Okay.
Was he pooping?
No, we were in the shower.
But why was he wiping his butt? Was he washing it?
Yeah, he was washing it.
Well, you didn't say. You gotta say washing it. You said wiping. Wiping pertains to pooping.
Okay, he was washing his butt. Okay. In the shower, soapy suds.
Front to back.
Yes. No. Yes. Front to back. Front to back.
All the ladies listening, y'all know that's a no-no.
So
back to front.
You bring up a story.
Okay.
So this guy, I noticed he's washing his butt. Then, without any separate motion, all in one fluid motion, he goes from his butt with the washcloth to his face. To his face. I was mortified.
May I ask?
Yes.
His complexion.
It was of ivory tone.
Oh yes,
it was of ivory tone.
Yes.
I've seen there's nasty black people too.
But in his defense, you don't get two washcloths in boot camp.
It's nasty.
In his defense,
that's true. But there's nasty black people
out
there too.
Do your face first.
Your face first, exactly. then squeeze it out, right, and then go for the butt.
Well, you can put your face dirt in your butt, can't you?
I wouldn't. I would not. You can get sick. You can get alopecia. Like you can get anything.
Anybody ever heard of getting sick from face dirt in your butt?
I don't know.
Oh.
That lady had what was that lady a few weeks ago? She had the worms in her eye from poop. You know what I'm talking about?
She wiped her butt first.
That's what happened to him.
Oh,
probably.
God.
I'm pretty sure of it.
Yuck.
But anyway, getting back to what we were saying. So I'm mortified in the shower, and anybody knows me knows that. Me and germs, I'm afraid of them. Like, I'm a germaphobe a little bit. People tell me that anyway. So I began to separate myself from this dude. We about 6 weeks into boot camp. Boot camp's 8 weeks long. 9 weeks if you count the P week, which is the week where they prep you, give you all your shots and everything. Right. That week doesn't count. They don't tell you that. You don't know that till you get there, that you're going to spend an extra week, but whatever. Right. And so I began to separate myself from this guy, not talking to him anymore, shutting him off.
Dude, I can't be your friend.
I don't know. I'm not even that nice.
I can't be cool with you.
I don't want him in my vicinity with his
with your ass
face.
Ass face.
I don't want you in my vicinity because I don't want to smell anything.
I get it.
I don't want to think I smelled something.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
I back away from him. He comes to me one day and he's like, what's going on, man? I noticed you've been distant, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, man, like I just focus on my family. I'm just trying to get out of here and get to I lied. And lying for me is hard. I lied.
My man, you got an ass face. I couldn't help but notice in the shower, you washed your ass first, then washed your face.
And as I said, this is a race of people. Because my shipmate, Matt Cronley, who's probably going to listen to this, He went to boot camp with an ass face.
Just drop a name?
Yeah, he wasn't ass face. He went to boot camp with an ass face.
Oh, okay. All right.
He went to boot camp with one. Ass face, that's the race.
Ass face
That's
race.
the name. Yeah. So
Damn.
we ended up not talking much, right? So then I started to realize in the last 2 weeks, this dude was a close talker.
Oh, snap.
I think he was wiping his ass with his face.
On purpose.
On purpose. And getting in people's vicinity to get back at people that he didn't like in boot camp.
Smell my ass face.
So fast forward.
Ew, yo.
Yeah.
Ew, yo.
Yeah. You sounded really Baltimore right there.
Oh, my bad.
Or Baltimore.
Yeah,
anyway.
Baltimore.
So we fast forward to our graduation day in boot camp. This is a wonderful festive day. You still ain't free. You still you still belong to the Navy. You get to spend some time with your family after the graduation, go to Chicago, do all this, that, and the other, whatever. And so we ended up, I ended up seeing him after boot camp. After we graduated, we separated, we got to go with our families. I saw his family, and I'll be damned if I didn't see this dude lean in and kiss his grandmother on the cheek.
Oh, snap. Well, her grandmother might have started the trend.
And then he looked at me and winked.
Ass faces.
I know you know who I am. I know you know who I am. And this was our secret. That's why he was looking at me. That was the last time I saw him. I'm not going to say I remember his name. I'm not going to say his name, but if he's listening, he knows who he is, and hopefully he's not doing this to his children now.
He could have given his grandmother a fecal illness.
See, my sister Dana is a chef, so she knows all about all the germs and stuff like that. So that's my initial kickoff to boot camp stories. The ass face general, well, the ass face admiral. We were in our Navy, ass face admiral. And that was my story in boot camp, my first story. And so that's a little bit of how this show is going to flow. We're going to have conversations. We're going to have fun. And we're just going to share our stories.
I'm a little shocked.
You look mortified right now, Dana.
I'm thinking like in my life, how many people have ass-faced me? Like people talk close to me all the time. What if it's like ass-face on purpose?
Well, I just said it was a race of people. We've all been ass-faced.
I'm going to start calling them, wait. Do you ass face?
Yeah, we've all been ass faced.
Yeah,
at some point.
God.
Some point in time.
God.
This happened.
Oh yeah, that's a tough story to follow.
Yeah. I don't know. You got a good one. You told me. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't know is that I kind of screen these stories to make sure that they're funny and they are passable and intriguing. And this story we got coming up from my sister Dana is quite possibly one of the funniest boot camp stories I've ever heard. So Dana's gonna grab a beer. We're gonna be right back. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And as promised, here's a story about boot camp. Hey, Bo, we still hear you over there. Here's a boot camp story from my sister Dana, who was in the United States Marine Corps. How many years were you in?
5 years active, 4 years inactive.
Yeah. And by the way, I was in for 6 years, and I started off as an undesignated seaman. I went in not knowing what the hell that was and thinking it was just going to be a blast. And, it was one of the hardest things I've done. And it was good though. It was good though for me. It broke me down and it taught me how to work hard. It gave me a lot of responsibility, and I learned how to sweep a lot. I know how to sweep in the rain. I know how to paint.
Don't make the trash stick.
Yeah, I got out. I didn't know what I was doing, and thankfully, this wild pack of bosun's mates on the USS Arctic took me in, and they raised me like I was in the Jungle Book or something. So I like that.
We call you Mowgli, though.
I ended up, yeah, you do. And I grew up, and after I grew up out of deck seamanship, I ended up being a journalist in the Navy, and now I still practice journalism. I'm now a cinematographer, but that's what I do for a living.
Capitol Hill.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to Dana, you want to grace us with your story?
I am.
All right, let's go.
And this story is like, let me give you a little backstory. So coming from Baltimore, growing up in the inner city, you don't take a lot of S off of anybody. You don't take a lot of crap.
That's correct.
So me going to boot camp, Paris Island, hot. I went July 23rd, 2000 was the day I stepped on those yellow footprints. Never forget it.
Now, tell everybody what the yellow footprints are. You got to give the background.
See, the thing about it is, like, everybody that goes to Marine Corps boot camp, I'm not sure about San Diego with the Hollywood Marines, but when you go to Parris Island, it's pitch black. You don't know how you got on there. You don't know how to get off.
So no recruit arrives in the daytime?
No, not ever.
Wow, that's mysterious.
Ever. You get off the plane, you get on a bus, the bus takes you on the island. You don't know how you got on there, you don't know how to get off, so you can't run. If you run, you probably run into the ocean because it's literally an island.
Sounds like prison. Like Alcatraz.
People escape from Alcatraz. I don't know anybody that escaped from Parris Island.
People.
Right. So here's the thing. You get there and everybody's chilling like, oh yeah, you know, I'm from DC, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from wherever, you know, Florida. And we chilling, we being kids, you know, 17, 18 to 21. And the bus just stops. Pitch black. Door opens, drill instructor gets on there. Might have said something nice. I can't remember. All I remember is get the hell off my bus. Get your ass on my, can I say ass? Yeah, get your ass on my yellow footprints. The yellow footprints are.
We just had a whole story about an ass face. Remember?
Ass face, we did.
He was an admiral.
So, admiral ass face. So these yellow footprints are lined up in squad positions and they're painted on the ground, heels together, which is pretty much the 45-degree angle that your feet are supposed to be in at attention. You stand there until they tell you to move. It's pretty much the beginning or the ending of your life, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So you get there, you get on these yellow footprints. Let's fast forward a little bit. So in my platoon, we started with 75 women, right? Some of the women there never saw a black person before, ever.
Some of the recruits?
Some of the recruits.
Really?
Never saw a black person
from
before.
like Dakota, North Dakotas?
Some of them were from the backwoods of Louisiana. Some of them were from like Dakota and Mississippi. Like, you know, never saw a black person before. Really? And if they saw one, they never interacted with one. So now you living with one, you showering with one, you getting butt naked with one, you crying with one, you dying with one, right?
That's kind of wild to me because Mississippi was pretty much built by black people.
And that's what I was like, you've never seen a black person?
Okay. All right.
I know, I felt like the Peanut M&M. They do exist. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in boot camp.
Santa Claus reference.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm looking at them like, mind you, I'm 18 years old, straight out of Baltimore. You lying. You ain't never seen a black person before. So we had some division in our platoon. So we going, it's about a month and a half. Marine Corps boot camp is 13 weeks.
The longest one, by the way, of all 4 services. 5 if you count the Coast Guard.
Right. Now, mind you, I don't know if you've ever been in the South in the summertime, but it's hot. It's hot as I don't know, the hottest balls, I don't know, Santa Claus balls. It's hot, right? So it's about August, mid-August, and we down there, and it's a Sunday, not a training day. We got a field day, right? So we field daying. And I had an attitude for some reason. I don't know. I was 18, away from home. Drill instructor like, what's wrong with you, Galloway? I ain't answering. Ignored it. Kept sweeping. Oh, Galloway don't want to answer. So at this time, we didn't establish cliques, right? So it's me and another girl from Baltimore, 2 girls from D.C., and 2 girls from Jacksonville, Florida.
You got along with the D.C. girls.
Yeah.
How was that?
Actually, I knew one of the girls because we were ROTC and our schools, our high schools, used to compete against each other. So actually, her name was Parrish.
Okay.
So shout out to Parrish. So we actually got along. So she was like, okay, Galloway's clique, get on the quarter deck. Now, when you get quarter deck, that means you have to exercise. Push-ups, squats, jump outs, burpees, whatever they tell you to do within a certain amount of time until they tell you stop. So I'm like, start sounding off. Now you're not about to put my crew on the quarter deck, right? So she's like, oh no, let's do this. She put some of the white girls that never saw a black person before on the quarter deck, right? So they getting quarter deck. Now I'm just like, sweeping. It was very selfish of me.
So they got punished because of what you did.
Very selfish of me.
I mean, that happens in boot camp.
I can admit that right now.
You know, boot camp is one of those places where the drill instructors, the RDCs as we call them in the Navy, they want you to feel bad about everything you do, whether it's right or wrong. It's a place that completely wants you to be resting on morals at all time. So the fact that they punished somebody else for what you did, that's completely boot camp.
Right. Boot camp is going to make you physically strong. You ain't got no choice. But mentally, if you weak, you're not going to make it. So anyway, back to the story. So they get hammered. They get tore up. I'm just sweeping. So finally they made them stop and they quarterdecked me. So they put me and those girls in a group. We hit the quarterdeck. Everybody else was chilling, doing their devotionals and stuff. So they're like, all right, Galloway, y'all done. Take your little squad out to the mop shack. Now, the mop shack is like this dumpster-looking area.
It sounds like a barbecue restaurant.
The mop shack?
There was no barbecue there?
No barbecue. No
like
barbecue.
A wonderful place to eat.
So the mop shack is this place that's next to a sand pit out back, and you hang your mops up. It smells like damp, dirty diapers and dirty rags and old swimming pools, right? And there's a little trash can in there where your trash go, and there's buckets. You just dump them out on the rocks in the sand in there. So we down there, and they cursing my name. Galloway, you ain't fair. You don't say the white girl. So you know me. I'm like, say it to my face, you know? So they like, whatever, Galloway. So we down there wringing out the mops and stuff. And out the corner of my eye, I swear it was like baby Jesus came down, right? So I looked, and I'm like, damn, that's a pie.
Where was the pie?
It was on the ground underneath the mops. And the mops was just dripping on it. And I'm like, damn, that's a little Jimmy Dean pie. You know the little pies that come in a Jimmy?
Yeah.
That's a pie.
So a little back tracing for people who don't know. Sweets are very hard to come by in boot camp.
Yes, Lord.
They'll put them in front of you. Like, you ever seen The Biggest Loser? That when they put them in the fat people in the room with all the sweets, and they be like, yeah, you can have it. But as soon as you get it,
right.
Like, so there's a group of people that go through boot. They come in heavy, and they tease
weight
them.
Recruits.
They put them in a room with all this stuff, like in the cafeteria, and they just wait for you to grab it. So even if you are in good shape, they'll let you have some sweets, but you can't have a lot. So to find a pie on the ground, that's rare. Go ahead, Dave.
Marine Corps bouquet, they don't give you no sweets. We used to go to the make PX calls and get like tampons and stuff, and we would throw like a pack of the vitamin D cough drops up on the thing and try to like pass them out in the platoon at night just to get some sugar.
Your sweets was cough drops.
Yes.
The worst thing.
The vitamin D joints for the sore throats.
Ugh.
We used to get them joints and try to pass them out, but we got caught. They caught on to us. So we down there, I see this joint, it's like twinkling. I'm like, damn, that's a pie. And I look at them and they over there still talking S, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to win them over. So I go over here.
So you did care a little bit.
Yeah, I did. So I was like, oh, I'm about to win them over. So I go over here in this corner. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at this pie. This pie is half in the bag, half out. It's smashed up. It almost like, it's like a setup. Like somebody has sat it there.
Like your drill instructor put it out there?
Yeah. And she was looking out the window. So I'm looking like, if you can't see in and you can't see out. So I'm looking like, I'm going to go for it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So I picked this pie up. And I'm like, hey, y'all, come in. Like, come in. I know we got, come in. And they're like, hey, what you want? I'm like, just come in. So I'm holding this pie in my hand, and everybody looking at it like the Goonies. Like, down here is our time. Up there is their time. We look at this pie like what we gonna do? And I'm like, look.
What kind of pie
was it? It was apple.
It was
apple.
Pie.
It was apple. It had the little icing. The part that was outside of it, and it had more icing on it.
The part that was outside the
Yeah. It was like half in the wrapper, half out.
You still gonna eat it?
Yo, let me tell you. So we looking at it. It's in my hand. And I'm like, look, we can eat this pie. And they like, it's out. I said, look, to show y'all that I care about us, I'm going to eat the part that's on the outside.
Ugh, the trash pie.
The part that's been dripping, the mops was on it.
The mop juice was dripping on it?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I think that's why all the icing was going off that part.
Oh.
So I'm like, look, to pledge my allegiance.
This is way worse than my story.
I'm like, to show y'all that I care about y'all, and it ain't a racial thing. It's just those my homies, you know? I'm going to eat this part. Now, mind you, I've still been a little selfish because the part on the outside was bigger than the
It was
part
the
that was
biggest
on the,
piece, though.
that was on the
Yeah, it was the
inside.
biggest piece.
So like 19 of them got split this little part.
Right.
That's on,
How big was the pie?
it was a little like $1 pie that
It
you
was
get
like
from at the
like
corner
the
store.
pies you get, like the Hostess.
Yeah, like
Hostess
the little ones.
pies?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's about the size of my hand, about as
Yeah.
long as my hand.
So where did that pie come from?
I don't know, like, because we
They don't
had
sell those. They don't have those at boot camp.
so when we went to the rifle range, we get these every female recruit is on rations unless you're actually on the range.
Okay.
On the range, you get these Jimmy Dean sandwiches, but it's a whole kit. In the kit, the drill instructors walk around with a trash bag. You got to put everything in that trash bag, the candy, the chips, and the pie, except for the sandwich. And then you drink your water from your canteen.
Okay.
So everything else goes in that trash can. I think it might have just fell out before it made it to the trash can.
Trash pie that
It was
on the
definitely
range.
a trash pie.
It was on the range to be
tell you something.
to shoot.
Right. So I'm holding this pie in my hand. Everybody's like, this is our time down here. So I'm like, I'm going to eat this part that's showing just to let y'all know I'm here for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all going to go here. So we crouch down like Smeagol and shit. We crouch down like Smeagol and stuff. And we like, yeah, all right. So we eating this pie. We looking at each other like, yeah, we made it. Yo, this is going to be all right. We friends now. We sisters. We eating this trash pie. And it's so delicious, Sean.
And there are moments like that bring people together.
Sean, it's so delicious. Like,
Yeah.
like the part that I ate, it tasted just like sewer. Just like sewer. There was no apple. There was no crust. There was no icing.
Oh, did you throw up?
I did not.
Did you gag?
I did not.
Oh, it went down smooth.
It went down smooth.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm eating this pie. I'm looking at them, and then I stand up, and I'm like, you know, with my hands out like the trash pie savior.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like,
you were.
They're like, oh, thank you, Galloway. You know what I'm saying? You cool, we cool. And we dapping each other up. We turn around, dress like, what the fuck y'all doing down here? What's taking y'all so long? And we like, shit, everybody ain't even care because we just had a trash pie, man.
But the trash pie,
like,
the drill instructor didn't see y'all eating the trash pie.
She ain't see it. We just finished. Like,
wow.
we just finished the trash pie.
Imagine what would have happened
And like, I put,
if she would have seen y'all eating that trash pie.
I even put the wrapper underneath the rocks. I didn't even want to see me because we ain't had no trash. I didn't want to see me in the dumpsters. So I put it underneath the rocks and stuff. Man,
I'm guessing that the drill instructor put that trash pie there.
Let me tell you something.
And probably laughed her ass off watching y'all eat it.
Well, you know what? Joke's
a
on her.
distance.
You know what? Joke's on her because we enjoyed that motherfucker. And I do it again because from that day on, us 12 that went down to that little garbage shack had each other's back.
Okay.
And then the reason why they saw us come together, it brought the whole platoon together. And we graduated, we started with 75, we graduated 55, because some of them didn't make it. But all 55, we had each other's back.
That's what's up.
From
That's
the
what boot
jump.
camp's about. And your drill instructor probably like to see y'all come together like that.
Let me tell you something. If that was her plan, good for her. But if she was laughing jokes on her, because that pie, even like the part I had tastes just like mop water.
That is horrendous. I'm trying to find something
Like
nice to say.
picture like you you just got like, I don't know, a slice of pizza that you ain't ate all day. You got a slice and you drop it on the ground. You gonna look at that joint
You
for
gonna
a
think
minute.
for a couple minutes about
Right.
dang.
We've been in boot
Even if
camp.
you drop it on a pile of ants,
We've been in boot right.
you
It's
gonna
getting
pick it up and see how what dang.
We've been
how
in
much
boot
of it they
camp.
done carried away already.
We've
Can
been
I still
in
eat
boot
it?
camp with no sugar,
Yeah.
no sweets, and I think it was my moment. I think it was God telling me unite the platoon.
Unite the seven.
Cause if I if I saw the twinkle on it ain't nothing shiny on a pie, but literally something twinkled.
Yeah.
And I was like, we could eat that pie.
Yeah. That is a strange occurrence. That is a strange occurrence. That is strange.
Till this day, one of those girls are like my closest friend. I'm going to see her for the Marine Corps birthday next year. And I'm
Nice.
staying with her.
Nice.
This year, actually, in Philadelphia.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time is up. That is our first episode of Boot Camp Stories. Please, please, please subscribe, like. We're starting off just on YouTube. Get this thing going. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with two of my good friends, Keyshawn Johnson and Eric Mann. Keyshawn is an Army veteran who retired after 11 years, medically retired. And Eric Mann is a current veteran in the United States Air Force, and they both have hilarious stories. So stay tuned. From this point on, I'm probably going to just take a mediator backseat. I'll tell a story every now and then, but I'm going to let my guests carry it on from here on out. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hoorah.